Hey everybody, Bridget Michelle here. We're going to talk about flight attendant training. So this is really exciting. First of all, if you have been invited to training, give yourself a big pat on the back. Congratulations. It means you got the job. It means you're in. It's just contingent upon you passing the training session and passing all your tests. So let's talk for a minute about how to pass training, how to get through training, and what it entails. Now, first of all, what are you going to be studying? You're going to learn medical techniques, CPR, life-sustaining techniques, firefighting, evacuation procedures. You're going to learn about all the different aircraft. You're even going to learn self-defense tactics and anti-terrorism. It's pretty detailed. We do a lot, don't we? So anyway, those are the things you're going to learn. Class time usually goes all day long. And you usually only have just a few hours at night to both sleep and study. I think the airlines do this on purpose because they try to show you what being a flight attendant can be like. Because sometimes it's like that when you have delays and then the next day you have kind of an early report. Sometimes you don't sleep much or eat very much, and you just don't have time to do things sometimes. So you have to learn to be really good at delegating your time and doing what's most important. So they are probably going to room you with someone. You're either going to stay in a hotel or a dormitory. It's a lot of fun, but training is very intense. The reason why it's not that it's difficult is the fact that you get a lot of information thrown at you in a short period of time. And so it's doable. But the person you're rooming with is probably going to be somebody, well, it is going to be somebody you never met, more than likely. And the best thing for you to do is try to sit down and talk about some little rules as far as noise, maybe using the shower, TV time, things like that. Things so that both of you can make it through training together. Personally, I didn't watch training. I didn't watch TV when I went to training because it's just so intense and you don't have time for that. Also, let's see, is there anything you should learn beforehand? I've been asked if people should attend flight attendant schools. You know how you see the flight attendant schools online and things like that. And I say no, because the airline you work for is going to teach you and show you everything you need to learn. What they'll do is they'll mail you out a packet of information weeks before time, and you'll get that. The only thing that you can try to study on your own is your airport codes. Now, your airport codes, you want to make sure you're not learning all of them because they're just too many to learn. You want to learn the airport codes for the cities and destinations that your particular airline flies to. So how do you figure that out? You just go online, go on your airline's website and figure out where their destinations are. And then what you want to do is I don't know if you can see these, get yourself some colored get some colored index cards, and you can use these for the city codes. You can also use them for when you start learning your medical techniques and pre-flighting your safety equipment, things like that. And what you can do is use the colors for, this color for North America, South America, Africa, Europe, or if it's a domestic airline, you could use it for North, South, East, and West. And so when you get your codes, what you're gonna do is study. I'm gonna give you an example of some airline codes here. Okay, here's a couple of cities. Here's one in particular that is BDL. Now, how do they come up with the airport codes? I don't know, but some of them are based off the airport name. See, BDL that comes from Bradley Airport, but the city is actually Hartford, Connecticut. So what you want to do is put the code on one side, and then you want to put the city name on the other side. Now, some other airlines actually differ. They get the code from the city name. So say for instance, EWR. That stands for Newark, New Jersey. And I should have written this beforehand, but anyway, what you want to do is you write the city on one side, and then you've got your airport code on the other side. What you can do, a good trick is to highlight EWR within Newark. If you're a visual learner like me, this will really help you. For instance, EWR. Then that way, if you're a visual learner like me, when you look at it, then it'll just key your brain into EWR. Now that's one way, but of course for testing, that's kind of giving you the answers. But like I said, for being a visual learner like me, this really helped me to learn my airport codes that way. Also, a word on where you stay. They're going to put you in a hotel or a dormitory. And like I said, you'll be rooming with someone. Now, it's a catch-22 as far as where you're going to stay. If you live within 50 miles of the training center, you usually have the choice of staying at home. It's a catch-22 because if you're at home, you avoid the drama. And yes, there's going to be class drama. Just wait and you'll see. But if you stay in the dorm or the hotel, you're going to meet people. You're going to make lots of really good friends. And you're going to have study groups, and those are really good. Study groups, I would suggest though, do 2 to 3 at a time, because when you do more, it gets a little too playful and you're not really learning. So if you want to be able to test each other's knowledge, just keep it to 2 to 3 people. Also, if you're coming from another airline, like I had to do, I've actually bounced airlines a couple times. It's going to be harder for you. I hate to let you know this, but that's because you're going to have one set of commands in your head already. When you get ready to learn your evacuation commands, they are very detailed. They could be up to 20 lines long. And one particular airline might say, heads down, bend over, heads down, bend over. And another one could say, bend over, stay down, bend over, stay down. And I know you're like, Bridget, it's an emergency. Like, just get out, just shout. But like, no, it actually matters. You have to say precisely what your airline teaches you, and it has to be exact. So, one last tip. When you're taking your test, slow down. Because what they'll do is, you know this information, like it's in your head, but sometimes they phrase the questions in a confusing manner. So sometimes you're going to have to narrow it down. You may not know the exact answer, but if you just think about words within the question that's being asked, just let that be a trigger to certain things. For instance, at my airline where I fly, we have a lot of aircraft, which include the 737 and the 717. To arm both of those aircraft, you use a GERT bar. Now, if I'm looking at a question and it's asking me how to arm the door, and say, for instance, it's a true-false question, and it says, you arm a 737 with an arming lever, then I know that's false because I know you use a GERT bar. So if you at least think of the basics of the questions are going to be a lot more detailed than that. But if you just learn to narrow it down, take your time, because what people are going to do, they're going to race in class. Don't race. Take your time and recheck your work. It's very important. Okay, I'm going to make this short. I hope that really helps. Come back again. Have a great day.